Hello and welcome. My name is Jake Fortney. This is JakeFortneyFitness, and in today's video we're going to be going over gaining muscle in regards to protein synthesis and meal timing. And for those of you who don't know, protein synthesis is basically when your body repairs micro tears in your muscle to make them stronger and bigger. This is so your body can adapt. So if you're weight training with heavy weights, your body will try to repair it because first of all, it doesn't want you to have an injured muscle, and second of all, it wants you to adapt so that you can push past what you've already done in order to survive, quote unquote. For this to happen, three things need to occur. You need to first of all break down the muscle from exercise. Second, you need to have bodily hormones in your body such as testosterone, and thirdly, you need to have a diet with enough protein. For those of you unaware, protein is the basic building block of all tissue in the body. Obviously, this includes muscle tissue. Proteins themselves are made from amino acids, and some of these are made in your body and others you need to consume through your diet. Protein synthesis doesn't create new muscle cells, but instead it enlarges and strengthens the muscle cells that you already have. And for protein synthesis to happen, basically one of the amino acids called L-Leucine has to be in your body in a optimal 3.2 grams, and almost all protein has leucine in it because it's part of the amino acids, but all of them have different amounts. This is approximately how much you need to eat of each food to get 3.2 grams of leucine. And basically there's been research done that shows that leucine is the main initiator for protein synthesis to happen. And in order for it to happen, you have to get above a certain threshold. So this would be the threshold. They don't know exactly what the threshold is, but they think that around 3.2 grams is the optimal, where if you go above, it doesn't help you or more than it would if you had around 3.2. But the threshold is below this, know that. So even if you get a little bit less than this, you still might get protein synthesis. It just might not last as long. So here we demonstrate this with this chart where over time, you get a spike from eating, let's say, 6 ounces of fish. Let's say you're up here above the threshold. It's going to last for a while, and then it's going to slowly go back down, where if you had, let's say, 2 ounces of fish, then you might not reach the threshold, so you would just go slowly back down, but you're missing all of this time that you could be building muscle. So the takeaway from this is to make sure that you get above the threshold by using these numbers, so that way you aren't wasting your time with not being in the quote-unquote green zone. This is the green zone. Okay, and well then people think, well, why don't I just eat beef or chicken or whatever and just have that every 3 hours? Because when you eat whole foods such as these, it approximately lasts 3 hours, your protein synthesis does. But if you have it through like branched chain amino acids, it approximately lasts 2 hours, and this is because it takes longer to digest the whole foods versus the infused amino acids directly into your body. So if you had the branched chain amino acids, it would go right here, but it would drop off a little bit faster. But you think that having this after 3 hours would spike it back up, but in reality, this doesn't work. They don't know exactly why, but if you have 3 hours worth of 3 hours, you're in protein synthesis for 3 hours. Let's say you had 5 ounces of beef. After that 3 hours is up, you can't, if you have another source of beef right there, you're still not going to go back up very far. So they find that the optimal time to have another high protein meal is every 4 to 5 hours. So 4 to 5 hours afterwards, that's when your protein synthesis is down in here, which is going to reach regardless, even if you have it after 3 hours, based on the research that they've done. This is all in research, that even if you try to spike it right here, it won't work. You have to wait till it gets down below the threshold, and then you can spike it back up with your next meal. So it's almost like a big wavy line, and you just want to maximize the time that you're above. So how does this work for meal timing? Like I said, eat every 4 to 5 hours. So let's say meal 1 was at 7, maybe the next meal's at 11:30. You just continue that through the day, and then this lasts into the night. I don't care what people say, this lasts into the night. Your digestive system works the exact same while you're sleeping as it does during the day. So if you go to 11:30, let's say this was one of your later meals, and let's say it was a 7 at night, and then you go to 11:30 at night. Then let's say you go 4 in the morning, and then back at 8:30. That is going to be more optimal if you eat through the night, because it increases the time that you're above the threshold. Whereas if you eat every 3 hours, so let's say 7, 10, 1, 4, this will be enough to spike your leucine. This will just keep you right around threshold. It might even mess up to enough to where this won't even spike it, but let's just say it will. So then every 5, 6 hours you get a spike instead of every 4 to 5 hours. That's just how it works. There's research been done about it. And that's essentially how you use meal timing to gain muscle. My name's Jake Fortney. This is Jake Fortney Fitness, and I'm out.